And I just wanna tell you how I feel. I'm pretty sure everything's been said. Someone else come around, my brain go dead. Rushing in familiar territory, leaving things unread.
Welcome back. It's your girl K.E.
It's your girl Consuela.
Thank y'all for continuing to pull up on us. Yeah, let's try it again.
Yeah,
Okay.
Give me in there.
We're going left first. Pull up on us.
That's it.
As you can see, we got a wonderful guest. For all our UAPB people, man, can't nobody not know Frank Dorsey.
Y'all gotta do it.
They should. They should know him.
Who
Can't
are you
nobody
rooting
not
for?
know my boy.
APB.
Who are you rooting for? You. APB. Turn me on.
That's real. That's real.
Man, I love
real.
having UAPB guests. I had the
It's
people on
fun.
from the culture, and he said who you rooting for, and that turned me up.
Yeah, every time. I watched that one. I'm a big Tim Kimmel fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big Tim Kimmel fan.
Can we talk?
That is motivation. I didn't know what a social entrepreneur was until Tim Kimmel. So now I definitely follow everyone who's doing stuff from UAPB. I try to keep up as much as possible because you can't get people to support the campus if people from the campus are not supporting the people that's going out into the world and doing dope stuff. So
Facts.
Yeah.
Which is why you out here doing dope stuff in the world. We brought you on the podcast.
Thank you. I feel so
The
honored.
Dean of Student Engagement and Leadership.
That's it.
We definitely needed somebody like you in that space, man.
It's been fun. It's been fun. I have to pinch myself every once in a while. I was like, dang, I walked this campus 15 years ago, like as a student.
Ooh.
And if anyone knew me then, I had my opinions about how things should be ran. But now I'm running it.
And I'm sure your students kind of like you.
Yeah, but I
they
have to
got
remind
opinions.
them that I ain't too far.
Yeah.
I ain't too far removed.
Ain't too far away from it.
Hey, whatever. They got Twitter and Instagram. Now there's this new app called Fizz. Have you ever heard of Fizz?
What is this? Lil Fizz.
Fizz is like this anonymous Twitter to where since we're all a part of one campus, we can sign up for it using our UAPB emails, right? And now students can speak to each other anonymously through the app.
That's crazy.
Text, picture, and video.
Is it okay? So has it been positive on the campus? Has it been great?
No.
I was okay.
That's the what's they do them holies.
Oh me, that's what I first thing that came to my mind.
The whole list is it's been abolished.
Okay, good.
Because Fizz is there. Now you
Good.
know.
So now they
Now it's on
okay.
Fizz. Like people like Fizz is. I hate it. Like the way they did it was the company or whoever they came to campus and they offered students I think $50 gift cards and donuts to sign up.
I'm for the signed up so fast.
So then
I would have signed up twice.
So the Fizz community grew very large. So now, like whether you're at events or whether you just
get on there and get talking.
They just.
So how are you using the analytical data?
I'm not on there.
Okay.
Because I know the
You
moment.
know you be snooping. You be doing a little
The
one
moment
too.
I tell SJ all the time, y'all let me know because the moment y'all start talking about me on Fizz, I'm pack up on the league. Y'all ungrateful.
On baby. On baby. Because how the hell you going to talk
if
about
you
me?
trashing me on Fizz, I got to go. I know there's a school up the street that needs somebody like me. So nah. Like I said, there's their space to be free and to express themselves. But I just tell the ones if you end up as a conversation on Fizz, the UFB counseling service are located on the first floor, Caldwell Hall, room 106. Make sure you see Leonardo Glover. He'll take care of it. I had to get in this spiel because that's a lot.
It's definitely a lot of social
to be in college
pressure.
and you can be the topic of a campus-wide discussion without anybody like
saying
being-
who they
you can't-
are. There's
you
no.
can't
It's just
snitch.
people could just be messy. You don't know what's going on it.
It's
you
rough.
just got to take it.
You got to take it.
It's straight. I don't like it because I like people to be accountable for the things they say and they do. But it's definitely, that's why I said, how are y'all using this analytical data? Because you're going to get the way they truly, really feel.
Yeah.
It's like a survey.
Yeah.
We were just talking about surveys.
It's a real deal survey. So when SGA come to me and say, hey, this is what they're talking about on Fizz, I do take it serious. Like I never just like disregard it because of the platform. Like that's how they feel. And then sometimes, particularly on HBCU campuses, students are worried about speaking out because of the backlash that comes with it. Not as you're going to get put out of school, but you can't talk about Miss Erlene and Miss Erlene.
Because I would have had some things to say about Glenda.
Glenda, sure, was it the cafeteria or something?
No. Everybody in the education department know what he talking about. I would have some things to say. I got my first C with Glenda.
I think she retired.
She needed to.
Miss Glenda,
I
you
love
watching
her.
this?
Retired.
I love her, but she wasn't playing no games over there.
You know what? Speaking of the education department, I was at the governor's mansion on Wednesday before the joint pep rally, and Chad was there.
Yeah.
And I could not like I faked it. I'll be real. I'm at somebody else's house. I faked it, that man. But it's like, hey, you. Because I'm usually like, it's so good to see you. No, hey, you.
Hey, you.
Chad put us through. Like if you worked in that HP, that health and physical ed world, like Chad
wasn't playing no
was.
games.
I'm like, I took a course from a whole gladiator, Spartan runner, triathlon, acrobatic, Olympian, human.
And his courses was like that.
Yeah. He wanted me to do too much. Like, you know why I'm here. I done changed my
I'm
major
here so I don't
5
get
times.
behind.
I changed my major 5 times. Like, I have to graduate.
Right.
Like you know why I'm
Been
here.
there.
Yeah, I'm not here to do anything you're doing. But
Me and Chad are friends on Facebook, and I still get to see like all the stuff that he's doing.
the fact that he's raising his child to do the same
stuff. And
is,
he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be greater than Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me years after graduating to like leave the department to appreciate Chad. I do appreciate Chad.
Absolutely.
It's just that when I saw him, I'm like, oh, I hope he didn't see the Facebook post I've made about him over the years.
Traumatized.
Chad is I'm gonna tell you something. Chad had very, very high expectations.
Yes.
And the way he ran his courses is probably what like you said,
Yes.
we really, really needed that, because that professional space, the shit you be doing, would have failed that. Chad is not going in any of his courses. You got to see him to get through.
Because like, how do I feel bad? How can I not feel bad about being late when this man he rode this bicycle around the city before class and still came in here? Whew, okay.
Top level.
I mean, I just rolled out of bed. you done ran the lake and all that kind of stuff. So now, like, years later, I grew to appreciate Chad and everyone in the department, because I was like this transplant. Couldn't really figure out why I was there, because this was my 5th major at this point. But I was in the health and physical education department. It's like, Frank, you ain't known you play no sports. You want to coach? I was there for the leadership component, and people kind of miss that part. Like, to coach, coaching is a transitional skill. You can coach a sport, you can coach a team, you can coach an organization, you can coach people. So I ended up in that department to learn the art and skill of leading people through coaching and sports.
Boy, you went off with that. Because people don't
They go
consider
hard.
that.
They go hard.
Yeah, definitely got to stand my boy. Because
They don't.
you know how, like, y'all went to school here in Arkansas, we have a program called East. Coaches are the best East facilitators, because we know we're just coaching the kids. We're helping you build the skills, and you're doing all these projects and all this critical thinking on your own. That's what coaching lives look like.
You were whoever this Chad. You were.
I'm a Chad.
Done lit me up on the phone over some lettuce.
No.
The kind of lettuce.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me listen to this.
Iceberg.
It matters, right?
No. Listen to this.
It matters.
Wait.
Lock in on this.
That's the point.
I'm in class.
Okay.
Frank, I get a phone call in the middle of class. I have organized the tailgate pretty much. I'm the go-to person they call and ask all these questions. So
Bless
I
your
answer
heart.
it because they trying to get that. Thank you. Bless my heart.
Bless your heart.
Need prayers. To this day, I'm
Bless
still
your heart.
stressed.
Tailgates.
So
Get
this
somebody
is
to
our
do it.
first one. Like
Okay.
I was saying, this is our first tailgate as young adults. We're doing grown people things. We're doing grown people things now. We're getting our own tailgate.
Okay.
She called me in the middle of the class. This girl say, hey, what kind of lettuce should I get?
Doesn't it matter? Do you want a head of lettuce? Do you want iceberg? Do you want shredded? Does that not matter or no?
For a tailgate?
Frank, thank you.
I don't eat burgers.
'Cause I
I
be
just
damn-
want that to be known.
But thank you. She went right to burgers. We're eating burgers. So what kind of lettuce do we fucking need?
It will not be shredded.
I bought shredded. That's what she wanted.
No, it's not. I let you get that because that's the easiest thing for you. I don't have time to explain what kind of lettuce to get and how do you need to get it. I don't
He
got
said
time for
not
that.
shredded.
Yeah.
So it
We
matters.
We should not
My
have
question-
had shredded lettuce, absolutely, but we let her
no,
get the shredded
no.
because that was easiest for her to
I
do.
So I have this
eat
thing where I
burgers.
say 2 things can be true. Students hate when I say that. 2 things can be true. It matters. It does matter.
It does.
But what also matters is critical thinking.
Thank you. Lacking.
She done
So-
embarrassed me. She said, okay, class.
Consuelo, when you go to the restaurant and you order a burger,
I don't order burgers because I don't eat burgers.
But she see other people
turkey
eating and
burgers,
she eat chicken sandwiches.
have you seen a sandwich?
Just had one before we got here.
Nickelodeon do sandwiches. Like, what kind of lettuce do you typically see?
Wendy's putting that big ass tree of lettuce on my burger, on my chicken sandwich.
Get the big ass tree of lettuce.
Thank you. Why would she call me? I'm at work and ask me some shit like that, Frank? Like she not 30.
She talking about some okay class.
You know what? And I know y'all moving the interview, but that's one of my icks.
What?
Lack of thinking.
That the critical thinking, and calling me at work
For some pity.
or asking me what I'm doing.
Thank
Like
you.
I'm running the campus.
I know.
Right.
I needed to know what kind of
Really pissed me off.
I'm in the zone right now.
That
Thanks.
embarrassed me. I'm like, your mom speakerphone because
And the kids was like, she can't pick out lettuce? Thank you. Thank
This
you.
wasn't no private conversation.
No, I was.
She talking about
called me
okay
in class. I ain't put on speakerphone because she was cussing, so I ain't want the kids to hear all that. So she called me. I said, when she asked me that, I paused. I said, okay, class, listen. Listen at this. I repeated it to them. I'm teaching them critical thinking skills. That's what East does, right? So I broke it down for them. I took it as a real life learning for you to be able to think.
Oh, you
through your
became a
projects.
case study.
She became a case study.
against my will. Is it? Can
And the
I
kids
sue?
was on her top.
Can I sue for that?
You want to check?
It was-
The kids was on her top.
and they was. Then you should have put me on speakerphone for the last sentence that I had to say.
Oh, I got a question. How many different types of lettuce are you aware of?
I only know head of lettuce, shredded lettuce. I eat spinach.
She said types of lettuce.
I know iceberg lettuce shredded in the package, and I know a head of lettuce. That's what I know. I eat spinach. Okay? I
Your
don't buy
daddy gonna
lettuce.
be so mad when he see this episode, bro. She's showing out.
Because I mean, we just said fuck romaine.
Yeah. I said he said types of lettuce. She went back to how we get it. I'm really pissed off.
I eat spinach.
I know shredded. I know head of lettuce.
The lettuce, okay?
I'm outdone.
Next time, y'all can get your own lettuce for your own tailgate. I'm bringing onion and tomato.
I
And
think,
then gonna
I
ask
think
me
that
what
may have
kind of
been
onion. Why you just can't pick up
Because
onion?
some people like yellow onion on their burger, some people like purple onion.
It don't matter. Just get an onion,
I
baby.
know people that like eat one of these, so I want
Just
to
get
know.
an onion, baby.
You was at the tailgate, and you know who we was tailgating with. I wasn't finna get fussed at over no onion. So I wanted to make everybody
That's why you
happy.
have to get things like the plasticware and the
I did. That was my job.
And
That was my
I
job.
almost want to say you need to get the drinks,
I did. That was my
but if you come up here and you got like
Sam's Cola. Who the fuck bought
Sam's
that?
That was
Cola.
that was
No,
alcohol.
who bought
That was
No.
alcohol. I
Who
brought
bought
Sprite.
Sam's Cola?
Alcohol.
I'm on his ass tonight.
I brought Sprite.
Somebody bought. Listen, Frank. I swear. Listen to
I was
this.
joking.
No,
No, I
listen.
brought Sprite. That wasn't me.
Okay,
Frank, I'm paying
give me
somebody
Tahitian
a
treats.
Coke. You like them?
I want a Tahitian treat or a peach knee-high situation.
I can rock with that too. That's
Or
different. But if
peach
you gonna
crush.
go get Coke, go get Coke. This man, I'm trying to be nice to the
didn't get
people.
in the cooler. Who
Wait, I'm trying to be nice to the people who done pulled up. They sitting with us. They women. I said, hey y'all, you hot? It's hot out here. You want something to drink? They said, y'all got a Coke? I said, yeah, I got a Coke. I picked it up and passed to him. And I looked at the can. I said, give it. I said, is that a Coke?
You opening this flat.
Thank you.
Sam's gonna come flat.
Well,
What
alcohol, you
possessed
wrong
him
for
to get
that.
a Sam's Cola? Like, we ain't got no money. We already the young folks
Oh,
at the
yeah.
tailgate. Now we look like we can't afford name brand shit.
I brought Sprite.
I'm going to ask him, where did he even go to be able to get
Consuela's
Sam's
only
Cola?
response is I bought Sprite.
Well, I was over what you said.
She
The
was.
napkins
And the plates and the forks.
You just
She did a
happened
good
to.
job.
You just,
I did her job.
You just happened to
because
the
she had to
land in the
work.
produce section.
Yes.
Gotcha.
There we
Okay,
go.
that makes sense now.
But my
that
thing
mean they
is-
knew in the beginning that you didn't know what kind of lettuce to get.
They knew. Why would you
No,
see me?
My thing is, look it up before you call somebody to ask somebody some shit like that.
Now, that's an issue because the people don't Google.
She got a phone. She picked her goddamn phone up to call me.
The people don't Google though.
The kids said, why she ain't look it up? They pulled their phone out
The people don't Google.
and start
Okay,
naming
well,
stuff.
for future references, don't everybody get their own. I'm getting the plates every time and the drinks every time.
Oh, shit, just a
Don't send me
tailgate.
back for lettuce
Bring
and
your
onions and
own
chips and cookies and
condiments.
crackers.
Yeah. Tripping, ain't
BYOC.
it? BYOB, but BYOC.
Bring your own burgers.
Crazy.
Because it's not getting the fixings.
Let's gather this back. Cause we done got out. We done went way out. We ain't
Yeah, we're back.
I like this
Let's talk about the score.
podcast.
You Lions.
The score.
UAPB Lions. Yeah, the
What are you-
score.
What are you talking about?
The 70 to zip.
7 to 7.
I think. Was that what it was? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what the score was.
I don't know.
I showed up to tailgate. The band was amazing.
Now they don't know.
I had a great time.
Now they look Kelly back there laughing. Now they don't know Kelly. Now
I had
they
a
confused.
She
great-
watched that UAPB TV at tailgate, but she won't watch that motherfucking no more.
Yeah, I had a
My
great
Razorbacks
time
are
at the War Memorial
Amazing
Stadium.
time.
I think the Marching Musical Machine in the Mid-South
Look,
really
they
gave
trying
a
to get out
show.
the
Amazing.
I had a great group of cheerleaders out there doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like to focus on the positive things of life.
Yeah.
You know. I do hear the Razorbacks had a game this week. I hear they won. I think that's great for them. Yeah.
I heard that their season may still be, tough for them when they get into their conference, but it really
Yeah.
showed that we had a good time.
Yeah, I did. I did. They can invite me back to Little Rock anytime.
Anytime I'd come.
Mm-hmm. As long as it does this. Ka-ching.
You hear me? Because them checks cash.
Yeah, and our students definitely need that support. So, and that exposure. It was great to see the band out there doing their thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All the student athletes were doing an amazing job.
yeah.
All right, back to my boy Frank.
I'm back.
We got to get into, some of the things that we planned on talking about.
Gotcha.
Frank Dorsey, tell us a little bit about your background before we get deeper into the HBCU lifestyle, the leadership. Tell us a little bit about who Frank is as a man.
That's tough.
A man.
That's
He's a good man, Savannah.
That's a good man, Savannah. I love a way to excel reference. Grew up in West Memphis. Not Memphis. I don't pretend to be from Memphis. I'm from
Thank
West
God.
Memphis. I have an 870 area code on purpose. My dad moved to Memphis when I was younger. I got a great relationship with him. I was always right across the bridge. Like he's the first exit once you leave the bridge going into Memphis. So it was important for me to go to high school in West Memphis and do everything there because that's home, that's family. Was everything I am now, I was there then. Overachiever, trying to be involved and be in every club and organization that I could be in, trying to navigate this ideal of individuality as well as the standards of like regular masculinity because they expect every tall boy to play basketball, and that wasn't my interest.
Same.
But it wasn't until maybe my junior year. Like I had did some appearances with the cheerleaders as like a mascot for like special appearances and stuff. But it wasn't until like maybe my junior year where I was like, okay, college applications are coming up, and my goal was to get out of West Memphis. College applications were coming up, and there were a lot of scholarships that were for athletes. And I was like, well, I know I got the grades better than them, and I know I have the community service and the resume, but I'm ineligible because I'm not an athlete. So it's like, well, it's time for me to come from under this mascot uniform and try out for the cheerleading team. And I did that spell on the cheerleading team and had fun and was eligible for every athletic scholarship that was like the little city athletic scholarships. And we went from a joke in the classroom about trying out for the team to actually making the team, and then getting recruited to go to UAPB. I was originally going to UAPB to cheer. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I was going to choose another local HBCU. But I was originally going to UAPB to cheer. That didn't work out, but being there was the change of my life. That's where I really started to grow as a person, because on that campus, me not playing a sport didn't even matter anymore.
Right.
I navigated the campus through leadership. So that's the cool thing. Not the only child. I'm my parents' only child. Like my parents' only child together. But I do have 2 brothers. We have a cool relationship. I have nephews. I'm Uncle Frank to so many people's kids. Yeah. I'm Uncle Frank to Landon and Bryson and Isaiah. But I'm also Uncle Frank to like my blood nephews of Daenerys, DJ, and Romy. So like it's been a really dope time. Yeah. Don't know where my life is headed, but I like where it's at right now. Yeah, I definitely like where it's at right now. I started my career in recruitment. I did a year and a half in recruitment. At that time, UAPB was trying to attract more kids from the Memphis area. So there was a community college in West Memphis called Mid-South Community College. And what we did was we put an office there. Mid-South is in West Memphis. So it was like, hey, Frank, we got an office open. Do you want to take the job? I was like, yeah, I can work for UAPB, live at home with my mama. Absolutely. No rent. Absolutely.
Right. Best life.
So I did that. I did that for a season until, to be transparent, there was this thing called, I was under extra help. I wasn't under I wasn't a salaried worker at the time. So when you're extra help, you only get paid for 1,500 hours. And after those 1,500 hours, they thank you for your services until July 1, where you can get the budget restart. So we got to that 1,500 hours. I was like, okay. So what's it when I'm coming back? And somebody hit me with the, oh yeah, wow, you know you've been good to us. So what's next? Like, what's next?
Bastards. They could have warned me.
What you mean? What's next? Y'all ain't got enough for me.
The next check.
You know, you ain't ready to sign this this full-time gig yet. But no, they hit me with the what's next, and that was pretty much my end of my time in recruitment. But I would always credit Karen Blunt, who was the director for the Spirit program for 33 years, and Elbert Bennett, who's currently the vice chancellor for student affairs. They didn't let me go home. I went from recruiting to being hired as an administrative assistant in the office of the vice chancellor for student affairs, and working in there, I helped her navigate like the business part for the cheer team. Like I helped her with the booking of the hotel rooms and the buses. And then I assisted him with things that he needed as vice chancellor. But it gave me a chance to look at the whole division of student affairs to see, okay, this is what they're doing in residence life. This is what they're doing in student activities. This is what they're doing over in career services and disability services. I had a very broad view of student affairs. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and go get my master's degree because it's higher ed. And in higher ed, without your master's degree, they're going to keep you at a certain position, at a certain level. And then after a while, you're going to feel that glass ceiling go over your head. So I wrote into the college student personnel program at Arkansas Tech University. Love the people at Arkansas Tech. Like, I love my HBCU experience, but my online graduate student experience at Arkansas Tech means so much to me because it showed me that, it is possible for you to be able to engage with students who are online and make them have a sense of belonging with this institution. Like, they really did a good job of making me feel like I was part of the ATU family, even though I only stepped on foot on the campus twice. I think I wanted to go to the bookstore one day, and the next time I was on the campus, I was graduating. But I was working through my grad program while also assisting with the Office of Student Involvement Leadership. Back then, Kara Brown was the dean. She asked me to be the advisor for Miss UAPB, and in Pine Bluff, Miss UAPB was like Miss America, you know. So in 2014, this is all going down at the same time. So I was actually advising while also recruiting. But when I stopped recruiting, I was still advising Miss UAPB, and I had a chance to really work with some amazing girls on the year of their life, the year that they've been dreaming about. Like, little girls who grow up dreaming to be Miss UAPB. So to work with them on their coordination and their programmatic activities within the city, that's what really helped drive my connection to Pine Bluff. Because we do have a program called the Little Miss and Mr. UAPB program. And aging myself, I had like littles then who are college students now. You know, like,
that's crazy.
Very much so, to be like walking around and
full circle.
Some
crazy.
Little boy, little girl that I was, taking to the bathroom or helping get situated in line, or because the parents, they be there, but it's like, hey, we paid money for this program at this game, they're yours. So like, these little kids who like hung out with us are now walking the campus as juniors and seniors. One is on the football team. Another one just plays Zeta. Bryson is a junior in high school now. Corey London is a sophomore in high school. Like, the kids are growing up, and the little Mr. and Miss program been around 20 years now. So I always say it's like the earliest recruitment program for the university, because when you're 4, 5, 6 or 7, 8, 9, you just come in because your mama done signed you up for something. But now they show up to be actual students, so that's always cool. Did that until I decided that I wanted more. And while I was in a grad program at Arkansas Tech, I took a class that was focused around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Never had to really talk about DEI stuff because I went to a HBCU, and at that time we didn't talk about DEI stuff. Like, why have conversations about diversity? Now, as an educated professional, we need to have more conversations about diversity, because your Memphis people are not like your Texas people.
Absolutely not. Diversity is more than just ethnicity.
More. But you start talking about, do you put sugar or salt in your grits?
Sugar.
That's where diversity is showing up.
When you talk about how to make the Kool-Aid.
How people making Kool-Aid. That or sweet tea.
Yeah.
Or spaghetti.
Music.
I feel like that was a shot to Memphis.
It was.
Yeah, Glow. I feel like that was a shot to Memphis.
It was.
Give a Glow. We love
you know,
They do. Big
like
Glow.
Consuela, I feel like for you, spaghetti is the main meal.
I like
It
spaghetti
is.
and catfish.
You eat the catfish too?
Oh, you eat it as a meal.
That's my favorite meal.
I can't
No.
remember who in the group don't
It
like
wasn't me.
they don't think catfish is part of it, but that's
how my part
a
of
I
it
think
is.
that I asked y'all that because my cousin
Oh, okay.
is like, no.
No.
Okay, it goes together.
Yeah,
yeah.
it definitely go together.
With
So-
some white bread.
So
Yeah.
it's so important to show them how different campus can be, even if we all look similar, because all black people don't look alike. But,
Right.
And then we're
we don't
also
act
not
like
all
us.
black there either. Like, our international student population is a large population on campus. So it was, I was there, and shout out to the Human Rights Campaign, because in 2016, I applied to go to a conference. And it was a HBCU leadership conference for HBCU students, but they were inviting staff members and faculty members to also come into that space to learn how we can make more welcoming campuses for people who are first, only, and different, particularly for the LGBTQ community. So HRC flew me out,
Not you.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Not you got flu.
Because think about, like, at this time, I was someone's administrative assistant. On college campuses, you the admin, you can go to a conference and be paid for it. Because it was to the point where it's like, yeah, I only need the day off. Just give me the day off, the time off, and
You take care of the rest.
the rest is taken care of. And when Mr. Ben was like, oh, they paying for your flight? Mm-hmm. They paying for your hotel room? Mm-hmm.
I would've went in-
Hey, you can go then. Okay. I remember this was 2016. So this was like maybe 2 years into my career. I remember going to Office Max to get my business card made. And like, I was serious about this. I was like, this has to work. Went up there, represented like I was Mr. UAPB, like really connected with the people. And there was this gentleman there named Takeem Dean, Dr. Takeem Dean. Now we're really good friends. He's a brother of mine. Met him there, and he was at the table saying that, oh, I have a job opening coming up, at Smith. And it's Johnson C. Smith in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I didn't say anything. I just said, check. Got home, I submitted. Like, I put
Immediately.
a full packet together, and I never said anything. He called me one day. He's like, Dorsey, what's going on? It's like, and he and I had been talking since the conference, like, as just friends. He's like, hey, I got your resume. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You applied for a job here. Yeah, I know. Why you didn't say anything? Like, hey, because I didn't want any hookups. I wanted, if my resume get to you, I wanted to be treated like any other resume. I was the last resume to come in. They flew me to Charlotte. No. I remember putting that $700 ticket on my credit card.
Had to make it happen.
Had to make it happen. Like, put a $700 ticket on my credit card. I stayed with a friend while I was in Charlotte. I went and presented like I was presenting for my life. and got the job. And
you should.
And it was like
pressure.
It wasn't just in front of him. It was from like their student leaders. It was from in front of the division. I had a conversation with the vice president and the dean, and like I talked my shit. Like
as you should.
Like you got to do it with confidence. So from there, I left Pine Bluff in 2017. I left Pine Bluff during CIAA weekend. I left Pine Bluff and moved to Charlotte and did 5 years in Charlotte working at Johnson C. Smith University under Takeem Dean. And between him and the team there, Kelly Rainey, like they really molded me into a stronger higher ed professional. Like when I said earlier, when I went and got my degree, it wasn't to leave. I went and got my degree to work at UAPB. Mm-hmm. Like in that time, I was like, man, you just pay me about 35, 38, I'd be cool. I didn't want a lot, like, and I know people are like
the institution. You want to help better the mission here.
I wasn't thinking about no salary. I was like, man, just give me my own little office. Like, let me give me a door I can close and have my conversation with my mama. But other than that, I wasn't asking for a lot. But when I went and interviewed and I got the offer, and I can be transparent because I'm a public employee at this point. I was making $22,045. I remember that. I was making $22,045 as the administrative specialist 2 in the Office of the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. They gave me an additional $5,000 as a stipend to advise Miss UAPB.
27 is crazy.
Yeah. There's a deeper part to that story. But the job offer in Johnson C. Smith University started off at 48. That was a big jump.
Right.
Made
you feel rich, didn't it?
Yeah.
Turned you up.
At like 24, 25, I was like, hey.
That's and good money at our little young age.
It was 48 and in an apartment on campus.
Boy, ain't had no bills?
No bills.
I would have took it instantly. PBIC, y'all.
So
love you.
But the biggest decision, and I talk about this, I don't really talk about this part a lot, but this is probably the perfect place to kind of like talk about it. The biggest part of that decision was I spoke about advising Miss UAPB, and then Miss UAPB being like the crown jewel of Pine Bluff. I was the first male to do it. That came with a lot of backlash from the older elders
because they used to what they used to.
Like
they think that
when we have conversations about equity and equality and what men can do and what women can do and what men should be doing and what women should be doing, it was the same way I had to use leadership to navigate masculinity as a child. It started to show up in my adult life. So I did it that first year, and I did it 2 more years until year 3. I think the conversations from the elders got stronger to where it's like, okay, we need to make a change. Hey, Mr. Dorsey, thank you for all that you're doing, but we're going to go in a different direction following homecoming. So they wanted me to advise and plan coordination, and then the Monday after homecoming, give everything to someone else. You want me to plan the biggest night of the year, and then just
strip me right after,
and just strip me right after.
I done did all this work. You're going to strip me of all the work and all the passion and pride that I've put into growing this.
Yeah. You're
going to immediately strip me. And I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to be speaking at the NAACP convention.
Okay.
I don't even know if we've announced that on here yet. But we're going to be speaking.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. We're talking about it because it's in the news.
Yeah. In the news.
But
I don't know if he got it right. Monday.
Yeah. As you say that, we're talking about bridging that gap with leadership, and we have our elders who've been doing this. We were talking before about they die in these positions.
Yeah.
Them transitioning into guiding us while also accepting, the new things. They're so used to certain type of things. It's hard for them to accept that things can innovate and it could be better. Perhaps this could be better.
It pissed me off.
I know it did.
It pissed me because I was like,
what did you do? How did you react? That's what I need first.
That's the lesson. That's the lesson because they I know for the lack of better words, I was terminated from that position. That was a job. They was paying me for that. It's like, oh, when we'll let you advise the yearbook, and they was going to give me 10 for the yearbook, but and that was like to keep me quiet, like
exactly.
I mean, at the same time it was to keep me quiet, but I took the L. I took the L. Actually, Miss UAPB mom that year, I say her name, Katrina Tate. Katrina Tate is the mother of Ashley Tate.
Hold on. Shout out to Twin. Twin watched the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Twin.
Katrina Tate sent the email, and I don't even remember the full letter, but she taught me a new word. She started off and said, "This is asinine," and it really was. Like
she was accurate.
This is unbelievable that you all, in the middle of my child's reign, you switch up who's been mentoring her since her freshman year. So then in response to Mrs. Tate's email, they changed their mind and said, well, okay, we will allow Frank to advise through the end of the year, and then we'll switch over to someone new. This was all happening in September, October, November.
All because the elders were not comfortable with change.
The elders in the city. And it was hard for me to fire back at those people because though I wasn't from Pine Bluff, I had respect for those women. It was a group of women. Mm-hmm. It was a group of women who have big names in the city. It was a group of women who we kind of stand when they walk into the room. It was a group of women who are like revered in high levels.
Give a damn.
But they were focused on little old me. And during that time, like I would say, like Karen Blunt, who I was in the office with, she gave me that encouragement, like you do what you're supposed to do.
But do you think it was that they wasn't comfortable with change, or do you think it was because they didn't like that you was doing such a good job?
It was that too. Like it was to the point where, okay, we're gonna give him a co-advisor. So I had a few co-advisors. Shout out to Angela Newkirk and Joy Jackson. I had my co-advisors, but they were on the academic side. They were there to navigate pantyhose and emotions, because sometimes the girls would have emotional breakdowns.
Would be girls, yeah.
I would say, like, even the first queen I advised was Michelle Martin. Michelle, if I can remember, Michelle was 1 or 2 years younger than me. Yes, she was like 2 years younger than me. I was 22. Michelle was 20.
I can get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like looking, but like
I can see that.
But like, so like she's going through what she's going through, and none of all this stress as a queen, and I'm going through what I'm going through. Like the same women and stuff that like I looked up to and revered. These folks are attacking me right now. Like when you think about 20,
it be the heroes.
Like I'm still somebody's baby.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't really talk to my mama the way I want to talk to my mom. I can't really lash out the way I want to lash out. So when we talk about what did I do, honestly, I did nothing. And I'm glad I took it, but I'm glad I did, because that was happening in the fall of 2016. So when I went to that conference in November, I was going to that conference to like plot my way out. When I heard about the opportunity, I was going to take the opportunity. That happened. I went to that conference in November. I was gone February 2017. So I didn't finish out that year anyway. Ashley had finished that year without me, but I still didn't say anything. It wasn't until I gave like a glimpse of the situation until I got to Charlotte in the fall of 2017, and I was asked to plan the coordination for Miss Johnson C. Smith University. And like the emotional part was the people in Charlotte who know nothing about me outside of what they see on social media, entrusting me to work with Mr. and Miss Johnson C. Smith, and the people at home had an issue because of my gender. Still didn't say anything. And I'm glad I didn't, because sometimes we get so caught up in our feelings and we lash out on social media that it blocks us from future opportunities. Mm-hmm. So when the opportunity to come home in 2021 came around, I was like, God, thank you for just shutting my mouth up, because I could have lashed out and talked bad and aired some folks out, but then been blacklisted from campus.
Would have hindered your, ability to keep going vertical. Yes. So I definitely understand that. Yeah.
To come back in 2021, and because of my background in health and physical education, I treat my career like a coach. Like I'm always talking about my riders. Like what we negotiate when I came back did not include Mr. and Miss UAPB. So when I got to campus, they were excited that I was back. And I'm like, I know y'all may have heard about me. I ain't here for that. because
Bingo.
that was something that was taken from me. So for me to touch that project again, you got to ask me.
Yeah.
And we went through, like 2021, we had a little situation going down. We had to all come into a room and some things need to be done. And the vice chancellor looked at me, Mr. Dorsey, can you? Absolutely. No problem. I ain't mind doing it. But the same way you asked me to step away from it in 2017 or 2016, now as a grown-er man, I need you to humble yourself and the university to humble itself to ask me to get back involved, because this was something that was ripped from me. I didn't mind the 27,000. I was like, 'cause I was enjoying that. But when you took that away from me, it's like, okay, what I supposed to be here doing every day? What, like answering phones?
Right.
So so I've been working with it. This is actually my last year working with it. Most people don't know that, but like this is my last year working with the Miss UAPB stuff, only because it's 2024. It's something I started in 2014, and I'm ready to like pass it over to someone else, but pass it over in a way that they're going to be completely supported. I can support as dean knowing how it is to work with those young people in the most intimate level. Yeah, advising is approving outfits and approving like the coordination stuff, but it's also like giving boyfriend advice and giving friend advice and making sure that
Managing
this student does not feel lonely in this role. So I did that, but while I was in Charlotte, I lived my best life. Like I really did. I got involved with Equality North Carolina. I was still working with HRC. I was on the board for Charlotte Black Gay Pride. I was on the board for some other board. I was bored out. Like, Charlotte Lesbian and Gay Fund. I was doing a lot. And then when I started doing a lot, people started asking me to come to different campuses and stuff, which led to me being I was listed on HBCU bus 30 under 30. Yeah. So to do that.
Wait. And was just honored with you at UAPB for being honored as the top 50, the inaugural.
Oh yeah, I ain't never been so happy on the 50.
Inaugural. So congratulations to that too. But it's well deserving. And I wanna jump in and just because that was just so much to digest.
It was a lot coming out. I'm listening to myself like, ooh, this is getting deeper than
I'm glad you was able to flesh that out because what you're talking about is the things I always say this every episode. These are the conversations we must have because I'm not like you, Frank.
No,
I would have snapped on them people.
Cleared
but
it
not
out.
not like I am a confrontational person. Like when there's an issue with me, I'm gonna bring it to you and I wanna know like what's going on. I'm standing when you come in the room. I respect you, you need to be respecting me.
Yeah.
So what is the actual issue? I've been wanting to ask that the whole time. What could you possibly be upset about? Especially when I know you and I know you had to be doing a phenomenal job in any role that you have. Yeah. And the biggest advice that I got, I loved UAPB so much, I was willing to just stay at UAPB and work as extra help. I don't know if I've told this story on here before, but Dr. Torrance, my mentor, that dude right there,
that's my
man,
guy.
That is my guy.
You know, I just know. Dr. Torrance recently told me, Frank, if it ain't cash, it's credit. If they ain't gonna pay you, make sure you get your credit. He's a goat.
The man is gonna give you all of the gems, and I've been hanging with Dr. T. I knew what it was when I seen, bro.
Yeah.
So Dr. Torrance blocked me getting hired at UAPB.
That's real.
My dog. I didn't know that at the time. Like this is before I went to Arizona State for law school, all this other stuff. I was just gonna stay there and be extra help and work in the office and stuff. He told them, do not hire you. Do not hire Aaron. That, like, I could not understand when they eventually told me that. Why would he do that? But the reason he did it was for my greater good.
Yeah.
He says that we love home. We always want to stay home. Yeah. But home doesn't value you until you go off and you got to show them, oh, you're going to do this, and this. You went off to Charlotte and you was able to do all these things that people you were a stranger to. Yeah. Trusted you to do more than the people you loved at home that should have been like more like your family.
Did you learn the lesson then or later?
Later in life.
Because I was mad.
I was furious.
I was mad as hell when I left because it was like, dang, y'all ain't gonna fight for me?
You don't want me?
You ain't got no counter offer?
You don't want me?
Ain't no counter offer?
Nothing. They just let you go.
But Mr. Bennett and Dr. Alexander was like, you got to know more than UAPB. I appreciate, like, I cannot do anything but appreciate that. Like, and when I left, I didn't think about coming back.
Me either.
But when the opportunity came up, I was like, my run as a student was amazing, but my run as a person who worked there, I was an administrative specialist too. I appreciate all the administrative specialists. I've done the work. I've walked the campus. I've done the requisitions. But as an employee, that was my role. So I was like, if there's an opportunity to go back as associate dean, sure, I go back.
No.
I go run it. And I was only going back to just say, okay, I'm back for a little minute. Let me work on my doctorate degree, and then I might dip out again. But no, they've made it worth my while. But I look at my career as a coach. Every 3 to 5 years, I'm like, okay.
Shit, every year for me.
They
know E.
Listen, when they started talking about contract extensions, all right.
What y'all gonna do?
What's up?
Because your value is very high. You're very high leveled, skilled, passionate. All of it's there. This needs to match the energy that I'm putting out year in and year out. That is just who I am, and that's what I believe. So when those contracts come up, negotiate you, because at the end of the day, I'm me.
I'm me, and there's not too many people. I mean, there are a few folks that like I look at into like the whole higher ed world and especially the HBCU world. There are a few people that I'd be like, okay. But there's not too many people that's outworking me.
Absolutely not.
Like the people, and it's not to my horn, but there's not too many people that's going to take the sacrifices to really do the job. Like I'm not a high floating dean to where I just approve stuff. Like I'm in the trenches. I'm putting up tables. I'm breaking down chairs. I'm putting up tents. I am helping plan the activities. I'm helping execute the activities. I don't just sign the paperwork and show up and look for my seat.
Yeah.
Like I don't even sit down at the programs, honestly. So if you can find somebody to outwork me,
then we talking about something.
we talk about something. And if we're not, you better hope that I'm comfortable. I'm never comfortable with my salary. Never.
Facts.
Never. You are never going to pay me what I'm worth. Don't ever think that you can. Do not ever think that whatever the salary amount is, you don't pay me my worth.
Sure don't. Because they go way beyond.
Nope. I had to learn it because I was always thinking, man, like, I don't get paid enough. And then I get a little increase for like, I ain't never satisfied. I'm not. And I'm okay with that. Because this is crazy. I look at everybody's salary. I don't skip a beat.
Frank, we might need to start hanging out.
Hey, we can. I'm available. I look at everybody's salary. If you are a public employee and you work on their campus, if you are watching from the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff right now, I monitor salaries. I know every increase from 10% to 20%. I have to because I want
it's a market.
I clap for others.
Love that for you. I want you to eat. So when it's time for me to eat,
God,
I got X, Y, and Z, baby.
Dear God.
Yeah.
I see you in the neighborhood right now. Dear God, please.
Don't do it without me.
Don't do it without me. I know that you are on your way. Don't forget my address. I've seen what you've done for others.
And I know if you could do it for them, Lord, you're going to do it for me. But in the standing of that, in the time, we keep working.
And I don't always get my way. When they get to women, they gave Frank an increase. I be thinking, the other folks think I should get more. I think I should.
Yeah.
Hey, I think my last increase was less than what I donate to the school. I donate to the school. Like some people miss that part. But since being back, I've had a dope opportunity to lead student involvement leadership. I also work on the university's Foundation Fund Board because in my next life, when I'm not planning student events, I'm going to be a fundraiser. I just want to fly me out to go talk about UAPB or whatever school who wants to employ me at the time, and let me raise money for students so that the cost of education is not a hardship anymore.
Because it is.
It is.
It's extremely hard on families to go to college.
Yeah. And I'll still say, if you don't play a sport, if you do not toot a horn, it can get kind of costly. But when there was times when I lost my financial aid and all that kind of stuff in my academic journey, on an HBCU campus, you find a new hustle. So between the newspaper and the yearbook and the cameras, learn how to work these cameras and stuff, there was an opportunity for me to finish paying for school by just using the skills from like multimedia. So, yeah, I would say in my next life I'm fundraising for the co-curricular experiences outside the classroom, because we do a lot of fundraising for scholarships. But our students just need to be exposed to so much more beyond the books. You know, you always go back to UAPB's philosophy on education, where it says the first aim of a good college is not to teach books, but the meaning and purpose of life. We need more opportunities on campus to really teach people the meaning and purpose of life. Because I love my UAPB experience, but I really talk about what happened in the classroom. I was rarely there, but I really did a great job. I really did a great job connecting with the campus outside the classroom. Yeah.
So if you could make some changes like today, just based off of what you see and what you desire, what you think our kids need, what additions would you add to the campus in order to improve student life?
Ooh, and this won't be just particularly to UAPB, but I'm going to always hit on customer service. Customer service can be improved every day. I don't think there should ever be a day where we get to the point where we are okay with how customer service is. Every day is improvement. Open educational resources is another thing. I don't know why instructors change books every semester or every year. But if we're going to change books every semester, every year, let's provide them free digital textbooks. So the cost of education. I know that's going to piss off some publishers somewhere, but
fuck 'em.
But sometimes
we are pro kids, pro students, not pro the business of education.
If it's going to be a hindrance at that age, I would say I was not paying attention to the cost of schooling. I was just, whatever my bill was, I was paying it. So I want to say that a lot of students think like that. They don't look at tuition and fees. They should. You absolutely should. But they don't look at tuition fees. So since they do not do that, how about you build a lot of this extra stuff into that? Johnson C. Smith University taught me that every freshman at that school received an iPad on arrival. They think it was a free iPad.
You pay for it, baby, but you got
pay
it.
for the iPad.
Yeah, but you got it.
But the idea is, I get a free iPad.
Yeah.
Well, you pay for it. In your second semester in January, the people came and everyone got a passport.
Johnson C. Smith.
Because how can you talk about global engagement and global education
and you're not empowering them with that opportunity,
the students with the tools to get global? So I was like, oh shit, now
they did something with that.
You know, like that's one barrier. So if I think like if anything, particularly at UAPB, I think we need to build more stuff into the experience. That's what's going to make us different. Like. Figure out a way.
Kids here. Enrollment is going down across the board for colleges.
Give them
what is going to set us different? What's going to set us apart?
And we now more than ever we need that because we got schools like I don't know particulars of it. UCA has a campaign right now where if you make so much money, you get like a great discount on your tuition. A-State has launched something. ULR has launched something. We have not developed something like that for UAPB.
Are there conversations yet?
I think there are conversations, but I think those schools are using the Arkansas Challenge and putting some money along with it, particularly for the first year. Okay. I saw that UCA is promoting that like they had over 2,200 freshmen, which is like a lot.
Right.
Like, oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot of freshmen.
It's a lot. You know, and it's just stuff I've heard. I ain't really studying them. I ain't studying y'all like that. But this is what I hear on the social media. But like we have to be more innovative. So I would change customer service. I would change the innovation within what students are actually paying for because they're not paying attention to it. So let's build more into their experience. I'm aware that every student pays a $50 student activity fee. So I want you to know at the end of the year, it's like, okay, we did have a time. Like homecoming was a vibe for us. But I want them to feel like that even on the academic side. So that anything else I'll change. Overall reputation. And I think we do that with what we put out.
Agreed.
We do that with what we put out. I think athletics does a great job of getting stuff out there. My team in student involvement leadership, I was blessed with the opportunity to really rebuild that office with some amazing people. And those people, Kristen Jefferson, Jermaine Ramos, Cordy Jackson, June Young, Tim Campbell, Kathy Richards, Dr. Jillian Cheatham, Dr. Kathy Richards, they all do amazing work. And I get a chance to like support them in the work that they do. So like I try to make sure that our area is modeling the new wave for workplace culture, because HBCUs can be so traditional.
Absolutely.
So
very traditional.
Very traditional, very black, very demure.
Boy, snap. That's a clip.
HBCUs can be so dimensional, but if you call me and ask me where somebody else, I'm liable to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
As long as we are where we are, where we're supposed to be, doing what we're supposed to be doing. That Takeem Dean taught me that. Be where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing, with the people you're supposed to be with. When it's time to show up and really perform, let's show up and perform. But like I don't know if they're in their office. They may not be.
Yeah.
They may be in the field.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to go find a field. They may be in the field. But HBCUs have this traditional, we expect to see you at 8, we expect you to leave at 5. But I may have to go to this event at 6. And it may be an event with some libations, but I'm there talking about UAPB. So you may not see me at 10 o'clock the next day or until 10 o'clock the next day, because I made that a work event.
Right.
That was business cards has changed. I can't network the way I need to network before 5 o'clock. And in some roles they get it, in some roles they don't get it. But in our area, we're trying to be flexible. Like even with the dress code, you know, this outfit today, this is very old UAP. It's suits, and I'll tell people now, dress for your day. You know, if you know the elders are coming, let's dress it up.
Let's be appropriate so we can, do what we need to do and get going.
But if you know you finna be outside refereeing a water fight, I
Right.
don't expect you to be in no full suit either. So that's the fun part, is to really shape people's workplace experience, because workplace belonging is something that we really don't talk about
And need to be discussing. And I was just about to dive into that.
Yeah, workplace belonging is real,
it's
because
important.
when you're interviewing people, you want the people to have institutional fit. But once you hire them, it's so important. Just like it is important for a student to feel like they are seen, heard, and have a sense of belonging. Dr. Terrell Storyhunt also says that employees should feel like they are seen, heard, and have a sense of belonging. If you don't feel like you belong to a church, how many Sundays are you going?
Gonna leave.
You're going to leave.
Gonna leave. For the people who watch the podcast at church.
For the saints.
Yeah.
And
if you don't make people feel
And the
seen,
Aints.
welcome, and valued, then people are going to leave. I had a job where I really think that was the best coach as far as like X's and O's organization that I've ever worked with in my life, and probably will ever work with. But she just didn't have the workplace culture down pack. You know, the old traditional ways of doing things, how you treat people is extremely important.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how well you do the X's and O's. It doesn't matter how well you organize and how well you plan. If your people do not like you, you will not be successful. And that's in any role. That's not just coaching. Coaching translates to anything.
And if they
any
love
workplace.
you, it's amazing what they'll do.
Who you telling?
When people love you as a leader, not a boss, as a leader, you can get those people. They just like kids on your team. They'll run through a wall for you. They'll do anything. They'll drop anything and come running because they know that they're respected. They enjoy their job. It's not a real job at that point.
They enjoy showing up.
They enjoy showing up and they enjoy doing things. But you have to shape an organization the way it should look, not what you think it should be, because that's what you've experienced.
As a leader, not as a boss.
Thank you.
And language matters.
Yes.
And
Language matters.
I, for the lack of better words, am so big on it. It irritates me. Oh, I'm going back to my ex. No one works for me. And I don't even like for people to say that. I work for me. No, you don't. No, you work for the university.
Yeah, we work together.
Yeah, and I barely work for the university. I work at the university for the students.
Yeah.
I do work for the students. But I work with people. I'm so big on that. Like, hey, if it's anything going on, I am not at a point of my career that I don't want to be involved to where, just let me know how that happens. No, like I'm gonna pop my head in. I'm going to be as engaging as I can be. But like that whole boss mentality,
Weird vibes to me.
weird
That's
vibes.
what people mess up though. They take that title
And run.
that's all they know.
What up, boss?
I'm the boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
Not the boss. Not the boss. No. I can have a boss mentality.
Yeah.
But I don't want to boss people around. I have one colleague who, bless his heart, he lets me know everything, and I'm like, you really don't have to. You know, I mean, you really don't. I do appreciate it. I
glad that you.
That respect is there.
Yeah.
But hey, I get it because he from the old school. But like, you got let me. Hey, you finna go to lunch? Okay,
Love that for you.
Bring back a
Enjoy
wing.
it.
You place 2 orders if you can. But like, if I'm not calling you, I ain't looking for you. So
right.
if I'm not calling you, don't ever think I'm sitting in my office wondering where you at.
I'm one of those people. As long as your business taken care of,
Yeah.
I have to have people around me who I don't have to take care of business. I mean, you got it. You had something you needed to get done. You took care of it. I like working with those type of individuals because you don't work for me. We work together to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
And I hate when people move like that.
I hate it. But then I know there are times where it has to happen only because like I took a chance and hired someone straight out of college without any experience because I wanted to give that person a chance.
They need to learn too much.
Yeah, and I was like, I had to remind myself that I did not hire this person with a decade full of experience. I hired somebody who was like straight off the graduation stage. Mm-hmm. So in moments where I get frustrated with him, I'm like, okay, check yourself because did you explain this?
You knew what you hired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just because you would like for him to think the way you think and move the way you move the way you move, it doesn't always work like that.
Yeah.
So I have to check myself a lot because someone gave me a chance. And even though I didn't have, like, we have 2 totally different upbringings. His upbringing was not my upbringing. My first job was at a school district. Like, Westminster School District was my first job working as someone's administrative assistant answering phones. And while it may seem minute to people, I mean, that led to my professional backgrounding. So, like, I'm always have to be cautious. Like, your job is to be a supervisor, but to also coach. If he's not doing what you need him to do, you need to take more time to coach and develop him to do so.
And model.
And model the way.
And walk him through it because he may just not know.
No. And I've seen so much growth. It be some tough words. I won't get on here and act like I don't go off because I have my Miranda days, but I go off. But I think that he knows that I come at him with love. It was actually a young man I had the opportunity to mentor when I was a 5th year senior at UAPB. He was a freshman. And I was able to work with him to assist him through his academic journey. And when he graduated, I was in a position where I could offer a job. And whatever the team wants, I tell them all the time, I may not be able to give you 5 raises and all that kind of stuff, but if there's a conference, if there's a book, if there's an experience that you're trying to build your resume doing something else, if we can figure out how you can do that while also supporting the work you do here and merge the 2, I'm always supportive of it. So they've become some great photographers and videographers, and I think we're going to probably have a podcast studio set up soon because I may not be. What can I do? I can't give a raise because the money not there. But I got some money in supplies.
Yeah,
I got some money
and
in
we
travel.
can utilize that.
I got
That's
some
great
money in
leadership
services.
thoughts.
So that's kind of what it is. Because when I was at Johnson C. Smith, it was a I don't like to use the word small. It was a intimate HBCU with an intimate budget. So like we just made sure that every dollar that we spent, it made sense. And that's kind of how I am now.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're doing a great job in leading and guiding the next generation. And hopefully, those next steps for you look like what they need to for those kids.
Yeah,
because you're doing an amazing job with the connection and building. I
think my biggest thing is it's identifying the whole conversation about mentorship is awkward for me.
Why?
Because I've had some great supervisors. I worked with some amazing people. But I don't think there's anyone in the higher ed world who's looking at me like, oh, that's my mentee.
I feel you.
Yeah. And there are some folks that I look at and I'm like, I admire the work that they do and the work that they've done. But I have some great former supervisors. I've had some I've worked with some great people. But I don't currently look at anyone in this space and say, oh, that was my mentor. Mm-hmm. I thought I did. Yeah, I thought I did, but nah. What I've learned is that sometimes people are great to you only when you're benefiting them, and then when things change and it becomes more about you, that support isn't always there and genuine.
Yeah.
So I've had some people that I've worked for, and I cherish every experience. But I don't think there's anyone looking at me and saying that's my mentee, and I know that I'm not looking at too many people saying that's my mentor.
Yeah.
Role models, yes. That's the difference between a mentor and a role model.
Absolutely.
I can look at you and I can say that I want to be similar to that. I want to do similar work. But there's not too many people coaching me through the different situations I deal with on a daily basis. So,
Yeah.
but there's this one lady, I think her name is Sylvia Hewitt. I think it's Sylvia Hewitt.
You're really good with remembering names. I
trying
cannot
to.
remember names off the top of my head for real.
Sylvia Hewlett has a book, and it's called It's called Forget a Mentor, Get a Sponsor. Now, when I read that book, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't need one. That ain't what I care for anyway.
Yeah.
A mentor may coach you for a role, but a sponsor is someone who's going to speak your name into a space that you're not in right now, who's going to really get you into that next level. Now, I have a few sponsors, got some good sponsors, but mentor, I haven't had a mentor relationship. And I actually don't feel like I have been a direct mentor for people in higher ed. I've been a role model. I've been someone they can call and talk to. So now when younger professionals do reach out to me, I pause and I honor that time in that space, because I'm like, I know what it feels like to want to talk through a situation with someone, but also feel like they're maybe too big into their own world, that my little issue doesn't matter. So regardless of what the situation is, what camp is, I stop and I listen and I try to provide the advice that I can. I don't think I'm mentoring anybody, but if the conversation comes up, if you want me to mentor you, I'll be a mentor. But I do pause for the young professionals now, because I'm accepting the fact that after 10 years, I have something to contribute to the people that's coming after me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this conversation.
I've enjoyed this conversation. I didn't know how
really
this
enjoyed
conversation was
this
going to go today, but yeah.
This was good. I know if it was good for me, I know what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
So I know that our
Hi, Gander.
people who watch this are Yetis. That's what we call us. We ain't got it yet. We call it, we are the Yetis.
Yeti. I should have brought my little Yeti cup.
Yeah, we looking for a sponsorship, Yeti. Lock in. It'll come eventually. But the Yetis, I'm sure that they enjoyed this podcast as well. Here we go.
Your ick. You gave us one or two.
I got 3, 4, 5.
Run them off again.
Give us.
I don't
Don't
like.
call them about ladies.
Yeah.
Critical thinking.
People who don't like to critically think, that's one of them. Crocs, don't like Crocs in sport mode or non-sport mode. I just think those shoes
You
are
gotta give the
horrible.
Echoes a chance. The Echo.
What is the Echo?
They like
What's
the
up?
wavy looking ones,
Oh,
kinda.
no.
So what are your what's your comfy go-to shoe then?
I like white sneakers. Like, I like white shoes. You wear a pair of Forces or like just white shoes. Like, you put it on with a suit. You put it on with pants. I'm really a minimalist when it comes to clothes. I actually feel like I don't even know how to dress if it's not a suit. Like, I'm horrible with like date nights and stuff. I don't know what to wear. It's like, why are you in a suit? I don't know. But yeah, bad customer service. I do surveys. I do let people to know my feedback. Feedback is priceless. Chili's Bar Grill taught me that. Feedback is priceless. Whether you like it or not, you can use feedback to improve what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And perception is everything. If you say that your food is cold, who am I to say it's not? That's your food. You're the one who's sitting at you on it. So I use that for everything. Like feedback, hey, students, if you don't like something, okay, we'll think about doing something different. So that's another thing. Customer service, and have customer service. Those Crocs situation, the airport activities. I'm with Auntie Monique.
No bunny.
If she's watching, I think she is watching. Auntie Monique, I'm with you. I don't do the bonnets. My do-rag does not make it off my street most of the time because I'd I ride around in the Wrangler on E a lot. So by the time I get to the gas station, I need to take my do-rag off. And it's not because I promote respectability, but it's because respectability is sometimes a survival mechanism and a survival tool. I want to make sure that I don't end up as a conversation on the news because somebody shot me because of what they thought I was. So,
Right.
It shouldn't have to be like that, but I'm trying to live out here too. So, yeah, lack of critical thinking, lack of reading, people who don't use Google as for all of the things that Google is there for. If you text me and say, hey, what time is the game? I'm like, okay, well, give me 1 second. I'm gonna look on the internet and see what time's the game and send you the link to the page that I found the answer on.
Right. That's E, ain't it? Is that not me? And if I've already answered your question and you ask again, I'm going to resend you the information I've already said.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are you? When's your birthday?
July 2nd, 91.
Okay. Okay, all right.
91.
what's our waggy point? We forgot that. The point.
If you watch the podcast, you got the point. You just got the grind, baby.
Oh, yeah, like a point for today?
Yeah, you give us the point.
Yeah, you get what was the overall message? One sentence.
Overall
Message.
Message. Belonging matters. Mentorship matters. And their golden rule is will never fade. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Amen.
You know.
Period. Pooh.
Check your emotional intelligence. You can't put everything on social media.
Please don't.
We have some interesting workplace situations. Everything, most things that I get frustrated about at work, I can't even talk about on social media.
Yeah, you can't take it there because you got to be a pro at all
That's
times.
how I was, but it was that, and it was because I went to church there too. So.
Everybody can complain about their jobs.
Don't take it to social media.
I can't never go complain about my job on social media.
Never.
Okay. I was calling
Never.
her for a week, 2 weeks straight, calling her.
So find you someone to call.
should've been.
Air that out. But I think the point and all the points, I think that conversations like this are like hella healthy. I had an idea to do a podcast only for new professionals because in higher ed, people don't want to like give you the juice.
They don't. Like
no.
it's going to stop them from getting there. It's gatekeeping.
I just think that is wild.
It's weird.
Because people want to see you doing good, but never better than them.
Never better than them. And ageism is real. And we have all of these leadership conferences and these leadership programs, but we don't have enough for the startups. We don't have enough for the emerging leaders, the new professionals, to really give you the game. Base some stuff off theory, but also base some stuff off experience. That if you come in strong as a young person, there may be a older woman or male, but for me, I don't know why old black women just don't like me sometimes. But there may be an older woman that still like to say like he doesn't deserve that, or you paying him more than you paying me. It's like, well, ma'am, did I not work?
Right.
You leave at 5:00. I'm here at 11 p.m. Or I'm at the hospital with a student at 3:00 a.m. Like, I don't judge the work that you do. Don't judge the work that I do.
Right.
So I would say like more conversation. Like find you a tribe of people to like talk through things, and to have a safe and brave space. And there's a difference between safe spaces and brave spaces. And that's a whole other conversation. But a brave space allows you to say what you need to say, and also allows for the opportunity to be challenged. And I think that's what was my winning moment for HBCUs, because when you talk about safe spaces, like, I want you to be able to tell me whatever you feel. And then you express yourself, and I'd be like, you have the right to feel like that. But a brave space allows you to express yourself and allows me to disagree with you and challenge you as well. So find you a tribe that you can have brave spaces with at work, in your family, within your friendships, because those are the people who are really going to challenge you to be better. I'm a product of that.
I love this. This was
Me
so
too.
fun.
These are the type of friends you need in your brave spaces.
I got one right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all the same person. I just want you to know.
Just
If
be
you
on
didn't
time.
know now, you know. Y'all
Be on time.
be
You
on
wouldn't have no
time.
problem.
But so you done seen us. You said you got a little rhythm.
You want me to like dance?
I mean, I'm
Just
at
up
your
top.
bracelet. You might
Just
want you to
up
do a
top.
little,
Oh.
little
Yeah.
stroll or something.
Yeah, catch me October 26th, homecoming at the University of Arkansas.
Catch
Pine
Waggy
One more
there.
time, y'all,
Yeah.
please. Who are you rooting?
Bluff. UAPB. Yeah,
Stop playing with
homecoming.
it.
I mean, students ask me all the
Might do it
time,
one, too.
Mr. Dorsey, won't you get out there? Won't you get out there? I'm like, I don't stroll. But this year I'm celebrating 10 years as a graduate, 10 years as the alpha. So my line brothers will be at the tailgate, and if they can get in line and do what I do with them.
Okay, catch them out there doing this 1, 2.
sure.
Well, right here we just need a little spirit finger, little 1, 2, nothing major.
Okay, little spirit finger.
So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna say weekly he. Don't fix your face. Thank
Yeah,
you.
cause shake back. I almost got mad. Shake back.
I was trying to see like where's she going with this?
That's it. That's all you do. It's some spirit fingers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Weekly he. My boy Kelly turned up.
Yeah,
All right,
I
then.
feel like Whitney Houston there. Yeah.
So our weekly
better lay
heats,
low.
she usually go on and give you a little something to tell you a little bit more. But our weekly heats is something just to get people through the week. It usually ties back into kind of like what we've discussed during the podcast, but it's just a little inspiration, a little motivational quote.
Okay. What you got for us this week?
So I got two that I had to mix together because I was on the same page with you, what you said your waggy point was today. And then I also want to throw a little something on there for people who have the same experiences as you and I have had, being turned down in a space where we were very passionate and wanted to remain. So my weekly heat for this week. The finest souls are those who have gulped pain and avoided making others taste it. That's one. And the second one is God's timing, not yours. Sometimes you have to get out of the spaces where you're comfortable, even if that's something that you're extremely passionate about, a place that you really want to help, a place where you think you can still grow. God has to push you out your comfort zone to go gain other experiences, learn new skills in order to be able to be what He wants you to be, not where you think you should be.
Said something with that, friend.
That's biblical.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like that's somewhere in Jeremiah.
yes.
If I had a little organ, you do.
So don't allow where you are, the no's are for a reason, and it takes some time and it's painful.
You have to pray for them.
Woo!
Pray for a no.
Pray for a
Let's
no.
go right now. God, thank you so much for every door you have kept locked.
Amen.
Because you don't know what's on the other side of it.
Do not know what's on the side of
Yeah.
the doors. When you start trying to write your own plan, your pen don't work like his pen work.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
So what you gotta do is you gotta
real.
move. You gotta get out the way. You gotta do what you supposed to be doing. Like Karen Blunt tell you.
That's it.
Handle you.
Handle
and
you.
that's all you can control.
Yeah.
Because all the other outside factors ain't doing nothing but building you up, baby.
That's it.
Y'all
Hey.
did something with this episode.
No, that's for real though. You
Y'all
have to.
stoked.
I applied for a job. I can say the school. I applied for a job at Howard University
Okay.
for an assistant director of the Blackburn Center. And was going through the interview process, and somewhere along the way, I didn't want to go no more. That same semester, they was up there protesting. Oh, God, thank you.
Amen.
God,
Won't he
thank
do
you.
it?
You have locked doors and missed opportunities. Sometimes you just have to say, well, Lord, I thank you.
God blocked that for a reason.
Sometimes your resume getting you the interview is just enough. That's all I need is just to make sure that when I submit my name and you see the credentials, I am someone worthy of you interviewing. I don't always need the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the stress.
Amen.
People at Howard got a different drama up there. So yeah.
After you just shared that, I need to share the same one because we done really had some same experiences. I left college athletics. Now I knew what I wanted to do, and it wasn't work for a boss. I wanted to be in a space where you said, I want a sponsor and a mentor. I need people who are not only speaking about me, but they're also guiding me and showing me and accepting me for the leader that I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be a leader like you. I'm one of one.
Ooh, I got a quote for that.
One of one. I'm never going to be you.
I may never be you.
Never be you, but I'm
I'll
going
always
to be
be
me.
me.
And I need
that's
to
enough.
be able to do me safely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be me respectfully and professionally, but I'm also going to have my own twang to how I do things. So I can say school.
Why not?
I can say something. What they gonna do? This our podcast. Russellville. I interviewed for Russellville's AD job. I made it to the final round, and I didn't get the job. I was hurt, but they got a lifer. We call people lifers in education, where they grew up in that community. They've always been in that community. It was set for that individual to get the job.
It's hard for a transplant.
When I found out the things that were going on in the background of that school, I was like, that was not the right space for me because God, though I feel like I'm ready for the role, I wasn't ready for those situations and those people. And God needed to put the best person in that position to move their community forward. True. So it takes us to learn and growth because we want things and we desire things. But again, the timing. Timing means more than anything else.
Yeah.
Can you handle it? So thank you for pulling up to the podcast today.
Thank you.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And share.
And share.
This is so exciting. Yeah. Y'all don't know how much
you had a good time? Don't lie.
I did because I'm a YouTube fanatic.
Yeah.
So like I don't pay for cable and stuff like that. I be on YouTube. So like even when I'm joking with my friends, I'm like, hey, YouTubers, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. And then if you make a comment, you're gonna be eligible for it. I'm all into the whole. I ain't dropping no because you're not eligible for nothing right now. Unless they send you some Yeti cups.
Some comments. We'll tell you what you're eligible for. Post the podcast. We finna start dropping some outside content too. Yeah. So if you ain't engaged yet, you better get engaged because we ain't got this yet going up. And it's either you gonna get it or you ain't.
You ain't.
Cause we ain't got it yet.
But we gon' get it.
I love the yes.
Next week.
Next week.
Get it for my children's children. And that's real.
Tell the truth, how I feel. Like I'm the only one that's real. Can't be the only one that feels like hold you real tight till midnight. Tell me how you miss free throws. That's free points on the field. You think about another nigga wanna be unfair for you. You'll go free.